We're back at the Green Door store again. It's Chris B here for Sonicstate, and we're talking to Matt Hodson, who is about to play a fantastic show. He's just been sound checking. Sounds so chunky, Matt. It's amazing. And hopefully, are you going to give us a little tour of your thing here?
Yeah, happy to.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I do any of these live gigs, I think the first thing I think of is what modules I want, how I want to make the performance. You know, working with modular, there's just so many different outcomes and setups that you can have. I've got a pretty big setup at home, so when I play live, it's just about taking those things out of the big system, so I can basically take it. I just try and stick to everything in this one box.
So is this literally a part of your wall that's come away? And
yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
So
let us know. So you're not doing just one big solid piece here. Have you got specific chunks or one big?
Yeah, I have. Tonight I've got about half an hour, 45 minutes, so I'm going to do about 3 or 4 songs. My songs are usually quite long.
Yeah.
In the past, you might have seen on my YouTube channel, I've designed different setups and I've done walkthroughs of them. This one's quite different. I've really streamed things down a lot. I've really condensed it down rather.
Right. So maybe we can have a look at where's the main. I mean, what's your main sound source here?
Well, I should start off saying that the ES9 here by Expert Sleepers, which is my main studio sound card, it's absolutely brilliant. 8 outputs and 16 inputs. You also get your headphones on it, so I can monitor on stage, and the left and right goes to the front of house. That's connected to my laptop, and the laptop's actually doing some of the sequencing, some of the notes for me. I haven't got a sequencer in here today. That's just chucking out, you might be able to see some flash in here.
Yeah.
It's just chucking out some gates, basically, and some pitch information to things like the Quadro is my main envelope that I'm using. I love the Quadro. You can get really snappy with it. You can turn it into LFO mode, and it's very playable. I really like that.
Beautiful.
And then, moving along, I've got the bit box, which I really love. I've got some samples in here for each song. I can fly them in. I've got some multi-sample instruments as well, like this. Oh yeah, you can hear that, that kind of thing. And if I feel funky, you can even play the keys on it.
You're not allowed to play keys, are you?
I know. So that's pretty cool.
Fantastic. So it's a lovely little, very responsive looking little screen. So this is where your samples are coming from.
Yeah, the cool thing about the Bitbox Micro, I guess it works like Ableton in that it does the clip launching and it keeps things in time, and that. As long as you feed it a decent clock, which I am doing.
Right, and that's coming from over here?
It's coming from the computer. It's just sending out 16th. Basically to it to keep it in time.
Oh, man after my own heart. No swing, or is there swing?
Yeah, no swing in this one.
We don't
this
do
is
swing.
Just fall to the floor. And then I guess you get over to the main voices, which are 2 U-braids these are obviously mutable instruments on the inside, but the reason I've chosen these is they're such a versatile oscillator because you've got all these different waveforms to choose from. And for each set, the cool thing is the notes are always the same, but I can just change the sound. I can just, I'll go for a square wave. I've got this kind of random, strange one on this one. It sounds really gritty.
Yeah, this thing here, so that's the actual waveform.
That's the waveform for it, yeah.
Sort of added several different waves together in a string there.
Yeah, I guess so. And you've also, I play around with octaves a lot, so this is really cool. So up and down octaves at different points in the songs. Just, if you want to create that kind of tension, you go up an octave, add some reverb on it, open up the filter a bit, and then whack it down again.
Awesome.
That kind of thing.
Awesome. Let's move along. So
yeah, these are paired actually with 2 filters, quite small ones, both by WMD. One's the old MMF that they do. I really like this one, and the carbon filter as well, which has got built-in distortion into it. I've got a little bit of distortion going on.
Wow, lovely.
Both of those feed into the jungle of wires here. Yes. The FX Aid, which are doing effects. So basically, I'm adding a bit of delay and reverb for both the voices. And I can make them completely dry at times, or I can make them really washed out and big and massive. I really like these. I think these sound awesome. And I've got a lot of guitar pedals like the Strymon stuff, the Big Sky.
Yeah.
And I think I've A-B'd these, and these are These are on par. These are really
wow.
good, and they're always updating these as well. I don't know if you know. You've got limiters in it. You've got wave folders, all sorts of stuff.
Fantastic.
Really
So you can turn these into just about anything, yeah.
Pretty much anything, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're always updating. It's one of those things that I love. Value for money. You buy something like this, and they keep throwing new stuff. You just update it, and it's something new.
I love it when they do that.
Yeah.
A whole new thing for free suddenly.
Yeah, totally.
So where does all the signals are coming out of here?
Yeah.
Are you mixing? What's providing the...
Yeah. So I've got a few little mixers that sum things together. Mm-hmm. What I like to do is build up voices in the rack. So what I mean by that is I might have this oscillator with its filter going into this mixer and the reverb, and I treat that as a sound, as a voice. And I do that over here as well, and then I combine them all using this endorphins mixer here. I love this because it's got sidechain compression on each channel if you want. So I feed it the kick drum signal, and what it does, it will duck down each channel.
Oh, right.
You can add how hard that is, you can have it very gentle.
Yeah.
And it just moves things out the way of the mix a little bit, because it's important for me for that kick to really slam through.
Yeah, you've got a really solid sound. It sounds massive in here. It's fantastic.
This really helps.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I'm doing is I split the signal. Everything you're hearing goes to a left and right on my main output.
Okay.
But I also send it to parallel compress it with this little muscle compressor limiter by WMD, and this is really sort of, there's a lot of gain on it, and it's just really squishing the signal. And what I do is add that back in to the really dynamic signal.
Right.
And it just sits there underneath, just kind of being very aggressive and just really sitting underneath everything.
Giving some oof.
Yeah, totally. Because I find sometimes with modular stuff, the oscillators and all that sound really great, but I often find when I'm mixing stuff together, I want it to sound studio style when I'm on stage. So that extra kind of parallel compression and limiting added to the kind of really dynamic mix is something that you would usually do in a studio. Well, I do anyway.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm doing that on stage, and it just adds that extra weight to it.
That's fantastic. So, am I wrong? Are you sort of adding things together, and then they're popping out here, and then everything gets sent out in a stereo bus? So you've got all your processing, mixing, and everything. And I can't. I mean, is there a mixer on here? Sorry, I forgot. Is it here?
That's the main mixer.
Right.
But I tend to set that and leave it, and I'm mixing stuff actually by introducing stuff. There's no VCAs, by the way. I'm actually using the filters as a VCA to increase the volume of the sound or not.
Right.
Just by adding the amount of FM level that's coming in.
Oh, that's really interesting.
And that's what I use for mixing essentially. And over on this one, and I'm not touching the faders over here. So, and then if I bring some things in from here, like some hi-hats.
Right.
And those sounds, like I said, I can make them very ambient. I can add these reverb. Suddenly they're quite washed out.
Yeah.
Bring in some other kind of like pads. I know some extra hi-hats. Whoa. Make it dry again.
Whoa.
Yeah, great sounding oscillators. And then I've got the overseer on the stereo, so it allows me to just, if I want, at the end of a song, I can take out that low end and then drop it back in. In fact, if I bring a kick in,
Oh yeah, fantastic.
really useful. That kind of thing. And then in addition, over here, you probably see that the DFAM is here, and this is just doing hi-hat duties. It's so big, but I just love jamming with it when I'm playing live.
Yeah.
And I've got to have fun. You've got to have fun on stage, you know. I'm not a guitarist. I'm not moving around so much. you've got to have fun when you're performing, when you're doing electronic music. You know this.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I find this it's a big module, but you can jam with it so much, playing with the filter, the resonance, the decay of the noise. And I'm just using the white noise for hi-hats, basically. And I just bring that in, add some resonance, some volume.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I love jamming with it.
Just using the white noise, using it for a hat, I think.
Yeah, we might be able to hear it.
Amazing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You can make it really snappy, or white noise. You can just get a lot out of it. It's really cool. I wish someone would just take that little section that I use and put it into a smaller module for me.
Take
That'd
a
be
hacksaw
cool.
to it, possibly.
Yeah, just cut it in half.
Have more room for more stuff over there.
Yeah.
Matt, thank you so much for showing us a little tour of your stuff. I'm really looking forward to grooving down in the brick room that is the Green Door store. Fantastic.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Nice one, guys.
Brilliant.